Hello guys, it's SpazzyW here with the red hat as always. I got something special for you. I got something special for y'all today. But first, don't forget to check out sugarbomb.com for your 100% daily value of gaming. And if you want the best gaming accessories, I'm talking about some top-notch shit, go to yetigrips.com. Oh, yetigrips.ticktail.com, rather. You use code MUNKER, you get 25% off any purchase on this guy. It's just one of those beautiful things that I would love to do for you guys, and I bring to you from my heart. Anyways, today we are calling Mr. Ryan Alosio. We're gonna talk to that guy. You know, we got a little beef back in the day, but it's no big deal. Gonna give him a call real quick, and here we go.
Hello.
Mr. Ryan Alosio.
Yeah, who's this?
Oh, it's SpazzyW. You gave me
Whoa. SpazzyW, the guy from Instagram, and
you gave me your. Oh.
Dude, you got a lot of nerve. Wait, hold on one second. I told you, vanilla latte, 2 sugars, soy milk. How difficult is that?
I don't know what he's doing.
How difficult is that? Vanilla. You know what? Get your crap and go home.
Angry.
He's
sending somebody home.
No, it's all good, man, but you got a lot of nerve calling me, dude, after that whole exposure thing of me doing the supposed leak on Fallout 5. You got to be kidding me.
Well, Mr. Matty gave me your number. I thought
that guy.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
The hockey guy?
Yeah, the hockey guy.
You guys working together now?
Well, he's selling these socks.
Hold on one second. I told you, 12 white roses. Yes, in my dressing room. How hard is that? 12 white roses. Thank you. 8-inch stems, please.
Some red roses.
God. Anyway, yeah, you got a lot of nerve, man. That created a lot of chaos, man. I don't know what you're thinking, but yeah, what do you want?
I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
Oh, just that I leaked Fallout 5 worldwide, and it jeopardized my career and basically took down that whole part of the industry. I really appreciate that. No, not a big deal at all,
Come
man.
on, it's not like you're Nolan North. I mean, it's...
Oh, bam, baby. I see how it is. Hey, Spaz, what's up, man? It's good to hear from you, man. I'm just giving you a hard time. Lots of love. Give me a kiss. Give me a hug. Whoa, no tongue, bro. No tongue. Just a hug. Just a tug. That'll do. Thank you.
A tug?
Just a tug. What?
What?
Is this the Happy Ending podcast?
This is insane. All right, everybody, thanks for coming and listening.
I feel really bad for berating those video game assistants, as if we had video game assistants to get us lattes and get me cut roses. Yeah, it's more like Todd Howard's basement in the corner, and he throws old donuts at me and beats me.
Is Gabe Newell down there?
I can't even make out some of the people that are down here. It's a bit dark, and right. They don't feed us much, so my eyes haven't adjusted. But there's a lot of the talent down here. Brian Denny was here the other day.
What a nice guy.
Courtney was here, but I think they let her out for a while. We get 2 hours every week in the sunlight. But Todd's been watering us and giving us old pastry.
Well, that's good.
So
giving you the sweet rolls.
Yeah, I'll give you some sweet rolls. So what's shaking, man? What's going on? Good to be here, man. Long time.
It has been a long time. I was just I know you do cartoons.
I have done some cartoons, and I am doing some cartoons. I love the cartoons, man. Cartoons are good times.
You do commercials and films. You do art. You build some badass cars.
I try to keep busy, man. Since I was a little kid, I always had so many different interests, and in school, I would go home and just read up on so many weird things and always try to, build little models of things or write stories or paint stuff. And usually they were huge disasters. But I just kept sort of doing it. And it seems like I've made a pretty decent living out of doing all that stuff. So yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing to do stuff like that. I mean, it's crazy how many macaroni paintings you'd have to make to come this far.
Yeah, my mom's got a lot of got a lot of clay ashtrays from 4th grade, apparently.
Oh, wow.
But no, man, it really has been cool. And to anybody out there who's listening, man, whatever you're interested in, and I always like to kind of put this out there because it's made a big difference in my life. I was really lucky to have, a mom who really supported me emotionally and, telling me that I really could do the stuff that everyone else told me I couldn't and somehow make a living at it. And, whatever somebody's interested in out there, if it's cartooning or gaming or anything, painting or being an actor and actress, whatever your thing is, man, please keep doing it and don't listen to the naysayers that say you can't, because I got to tell you, against the biggest odds in the world, I've been able to make a great career out of doing this type of stuff. So, not to get cheesy, follow your heart and your dream and all that kind of stuff. But the truth is, man, stay on your path, whoever you are out there, and don't listen to the other people. Really follow your heart, because it's pretty awesome when you connect with the things that you love doing and you actually get to do them and make a living at it. So I'm really lucky like that, and I hope that a lot of other people out there can be too. Wise
words from a wise man. And another thing that I found out just from doing 2 years in YouTube and stuff, success is what you make it. You don't have to make a lot of money. Like, I have 3,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I feel super successful, and I love it. I love talking to people every day, and I get awesome opportunities like talking to you.
Well, yeah, I've seen your stuff on there, man, and you do a great job of it. And, I think a lot of people really value what you do, and you're an intricate part of that community, and as long as we can have more guys like you and Mr. Matty, who I actually really dig a lot, and a lot of other people in the community, which I'm happy to be a part of now, that are sort of fence posts, or sort of, anchors to link all those people together, because we all have common interests, these games and all kinds of cool stuff like that. And, instead of more hostility and derision and mean crap out there, MEAN, not meme, mean crap out there, I love being able to be a conduit, being able to be sort of one of those sort of fence posts that can bring people together. I don't know why I'm using the word fence post, but that's my word of the day.
All right, fence post.
But you know what I'm saying? And I looked at your stuff on there, man, and it gives a hub. It's sort of a hub of people to come together and share ideas and talk about stuff. So I think that's really cool, man.
I love it. I've been doing Instagram for like 3 years now, and it's crazy that out of all the things I've done, Instagram would be the thing that opened up like friendships and just opportunities. I've made really good friends just on Instagram, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? I'm with you, man. I wouldn't have thought that either, because I only jumped on Insta about 6 months ago, honestly. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of people who I feel like I almost know on a personal level who've DM'd me and I've talked with back and forth for hours. And you were one of the first people that I ever even, hit me up on Instagram. Of course, it was because you thought I had leaked something, and, you totally scared the heck out of me.
Sorry about that.
It only went global to 200,000, video game news agencies in 48 hours. So I only had to answer like 8,000 emails about it to squash it.
You know what?
But I got to show you. I got to tell you, it shows you had some outreach, man. You put it out there, and it went big, man.
You know what? It's all water under the bridge.
Hey, I'm glad it happened, man. It was fun. It was a cool way to meet you. But from the very beginning also, after that, man, it was a cool way for us to get to meet each other, at least online. And honestly, since then, you've been nothing but totally supportive. I've called you to ask your opinion on stuff and some help with technical stuff, and you've always been there and been cool. So I appreciate that. Thanks.
Make sure, for everybody listening, make sure you go follow Ryan Alosio. I'll put his username on screen. Follow him on Instagram. He's almost to 10,000 followers. We can get him there. He don't like seeing the 4 numbers, so we're gonna make it to where it just says 10K, because he'll feel a lot more comfortable with that.
I would feel a lot more. And tell you the truth, I appreciate that shout out. I really would love to get there, just because it's funny. The more followers, at least for me, at first I didn't really care about that at all, but I do understand that it's important now. And the reason being, it does 2 things. One, in this gaming industry, they actually do take a look at that, I found out, and when they see the amazing fan support and friend support that I have out there already, and they're able to tell that it's authentic, that it's not bot people or bots or anything, that These are real people that I actually communicate with. The most valuable thing is again, to be connected to that many gamers and that many people out here on Instagram is awesome, because then I can try to bring as much interesting information and stuff about the industry, and it makes me personally available to everybody out there, so you can DM me and stuff, and I really do my best with it. So I love it. I'm just a gamer myself and a kid who loved this stuff growing up. So now that if I can be helpful to other people and tell you guys cool stuff, or give you info on that, I'd love doing it. So thanks, man.
It's really cool. I've never seen somebody in your business and doing what you've been doing for years now, to almost 2 decades. And you made yourself so available. So like if there's a 11-year-old kid and he just absolutely loves Deacon, he can find you on Instagram and message you, and that's almost a dream come true. I mean,
I can't tell you how many times that happens, man. It's so cool. Yeah, and I mean, I literally because I get probably, I don't know, maybe 100 DMs a day, and out of those about 20, I mean, they're from so many different countries. I think I've gotten DM'd from maybe 30 different countries now. Excuse me. And it's
get you
so
some
cool.
water.
Yeah, some water. Give me some water. It's so cool because people ask me questions and stuff. It's stuff that I always used to wonder. Growing up, I used to wonder about, well, what's that like? And now that if I can be personally available, which I really try to be, like sometimes it's instantly, and actually answer those questions and be involved and talk to them, I would have thought that was so cool when I wanted to do it. And so if I can do that for other people, I think it's awesome. I'm lucky to be able to do it, man.
Fucking badass, man. Now,
badass, baby!
Now I looked on your IMDb and I tried to find the first thing. I wanted to see if I could find the first thing you did. I couldn't find a clip. I couldn't find a clip of it, but I found out that it was the Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
No, that's wrong. There's so much bad information online. Unfortunately,
man.
I mean, if you believed everything you read online about me, I would be 7 different people. It's crazy. I think I started out in theater when I was a kid, when I was 7 years old.
Right.
My parents got divorced when I was really young, at 7, and I felt like I didn't have like a sense of like I was belonging to anything. It was pretty scary at that time.
I get that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, and I was super duper shy in school. Like I didn't even I couldn't stand up and read out loud or anything. I was just super shy. And one day I was literally like walking by, I think like the theater class thing, and I don't know, they were like being ghosts or trees or carrots or something, whatever it was. It looked like a ridiculous good time. And I was standing watching. The teacher invited me in, and from that point on, I just had so much fun pretending to be other people, basically. And I think my neurosis and my psychoticness, instead of ending up in an institution, and being medicated, I got to play all types of different characters, and it really struck me as something fun to do. So I've been doing it since I was a kid, like that. And professionally, I did theater for 10 years, all through school. And then when I got out of school, kept studying. I really believe in theater is phenomenal. Even if somebody doesn't want to be an actor, it's just so cool to get out there and make a fool out of yourself in front of other people, because you find out it doesn't really matter. Like in real life,
it doesn't matter.
Dude, well, you would know better than anyone, because you make a fool out of yourself daily.
I absolutely make a buffoon out of myself.
I mean, you wake
day.
up and it's on. You get out of bed and that shit's on. Yeah.
Always.
But no, man, I'm giving you a hard time. But for real, man. And so many people are like paralyzed out there, thinking about, what are people in my class going to think, or they won't like me, or the new. I went to 11 schools in 12 years. Talk about being the new kid. I was the new kid every year.
Well, I've been going to the same school my entire life.
Oh man, I don't even know what that's like, man. I don't even know what that's like. But it was awesome, because at the end of the day, it showed me that pretty much people are the same all over, and that everybody is just as scared as everybody else, even if it doesn't seem like it on the outsides. And so getting into acting and stuff really helped me work through a lot of that. And so I just kept doing it. And then I think my very first thing is when I was like 17 or 16, I did a short film actually with Elijah Wood and Gary Sinise. Yeah, I had like one line in it or something. Gary Sinise is that guy who was he was in the movie a long time ago, like Born on the 4th of July with Tom Cruise, and then he was on, I don't know, CSI or something. And then Elijah Wood, of course, everybody knows who Elijah Wood is from The Hobbit and all. He's awesome. So that was my first thing. I think I got one line in that film, and then from there I just kept working, and I've been doing this, supporting myself pretty much my whole life doing it. I'm really blessed to do that between this and my painting and my other art and stuff. So I've been really fortunate like that.
The Jay Leno thing. It said.
Oh, Jay Leno. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
It's a Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. It's funny, man. I mean, I was a kid when I did that. I just did some skits on the show, is what it was. Like, you know, they'd have crazy skits and that, so they hired me to do some of those. But I'll tell you, to work at those people at that level and meet, and you know, to meet the people involved in that show and do all that and to really learn how it all worked back then was really invaluable, man.
Oh, definitely.
And it is weird because now, see, I've just always been a kid, and I still am, you know, in so many ways. And then to make my living, aside from my on-camera acting stuff, making these games and cartoons and stuff, it's perfect for me. Because for me, it just reminds me, it's just like when I was in my room making up characters, you know, when I was 12 years old. And right. I just get amazed that they pay me to do it, and I keep getting to do more and more cool stuff. The success of Fallout 4 with my character Deacon, and now I guess tomorrow with Titanfall 2 releasing, and with some of the other cartoon things I've done in that, it just keeps propagating more work. And I'm not even supposed to talk about the other projects I'm into now, but the ones that I'm working on right now that have come from that are just ridiculous. The people I'm getting to work with, man, it's so awesome. It's really, really, I have to kind of pinch myself every day to make sure that it's really happening.
Well, don't talk about any future projects around me, because...
You don't want me to tell you about the new Fallout 5 situation? And
whoa!
What we're doing?
Whoa!
What?
All right.
What?
Whoa, all right.
What?
Let's just back it up.
You said what? Todd, I didn't mean what? No, I'm good.
Mom, get the camera.
Fallout something. Look, I'm not confirming or denying anything. I'm just saying, wouldn't it be silly to not make another one?
For real. Fallout New
I'm
Orleans
just saying,
confirmed.
Not that I would know anything about anything, but wouldn't it be kind of weird to not do?
I mean, why wouldn't he? You know what? Let's talk about Titanfall 2. Because...
okay, man, let's talk about it!
Oh, man, you sounded like Shaggy, a.k.a. Maddie.
Like it's crazy up in here, Scoob!
I love Titanfall. I have all the DLC, and a lot of people complain that there wasn't enough guns, blah, blah, blah. But I have several hours in that game. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Dude, they can complain all they want. Look, Titanfall 1, I know it has its problems and stuff. Look, every game does, you know, when they're first coming out and launching them and stuff. And I gotta tell you, though, man, I mean, I don't know if you probably played the beta stuff on 2. I don't know, but I got to tell you, and I'm dying to hear what your input is. But man, this Titanfall 2, dude, they changed it up. The first, dude, the single player stuff is ridiculous. They have opened up so many options and so many different things in this world, and the multiplayer stuff is crazy. I think people are going to be absolutely stoked and absolutely impressed with what's going on in the second part in Titanfall 2. It blew me away, bro.
So I downloaded the Titanfall 2 the beta when it came out, and then I worked all week, didn't get to play it. So that sent me into a spiral of the dragon. It sent me down a dark path. I was super sad.
Dark path.
I was excited about the swords. I saw the
Well, dude,
the
sword options. The sword options are dope, and dude, the new gun options are dope. They're across the board. Have you played it? First player shooter.
Like any first player shooter?
Yeah, I mean, have you played the new Titan? I'm saying, what am I trying to say? Have you played the full new version of Titanfall 2?
No, I haven't got my hands on it at all. It's so sad.
Okay, well, dude, wait till you see the options on the armor and on the gun options. The gun stuff, it's ridiculous now.
And when you're just the foot soldier, there's the grappling thing. You can pull people to you. Oh man. Yeah,
the grappling stuff's amazing. I do 2 voices in Titanfall 2. I do a pilot, and then I also do a ranger. And dude, both the options involved in, I won't even get into it because people should play it, but it blew me away while we were making it, checking it out. I was just really impressed with the improvements they made, man. I really think that this year, for the releases of these games, I think Titanfall 2 is going to rise to the top as far as first player shooter games, especially go this year with the stuff that they've tweaked, man.
Titanfall 1 was kind of was kind of a launch title with the Xbox One. This one's going to be on both platforms, and the one of the biggest new additions is the campaign because there wasn't one on Titanfall 1, and I watched I watched like 15 minutes of it, and man, it is dark.
Yeah, it's dark. It's super active. It takes about maybe 6-7 hours to get through.
Okay.
I think there's 6 campaigns overall. I don't remember all the stats, but I know it takes about 7 hours to get through it, which a lot of people thought it was too brief. But the truth is, dude, there is no filler. It is 7 hours of non-stop involvement, changing screens, different stuff going on. I mean, it's so dense and involved that anyway, you can tell I'm a fan.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah.
So you'll definitely be picking it up.
I just dork out on it, man. I mean, I really do. I actually got rid of my Xbox and my PS4 console, and I put them over at my friend's house because they were taking up too much of my time. So I am actually console-less at the moment. In my PC, I don't have the stuff on it because it was taking up too much of my time. So I'm busy out there making them right now, and then when I go over to my buddy's house, I'll play over there. But I got to tell you, that got tiring too, because this whole last year he'd end up inviting a bunch of people over, and then they'd put on Fallout 4, and then me being there, I had to be like the Deacon Monkey. Everybody would pick me as a
Deacon.
Bro, they'd pick me as a companion, and then they'd start murdering me in front of myself, and they'd make me do the lines, or then I had to eat. I mean, it got a little abusive after a while.
Oh, that's just doing you dirty.
Yeah, it's fun. It's good times though. But man, I love developing Deacon, and I love playing Deacon and doing it. So, but it's weird. It's weird when you're there and they're playing him in front of you, and then they're killing you in front of you, and it gets really strange, man.
Did you know that Brian T. Delaney actually did a voice in the first Titanfall?
Yeah, I heard that, and I didn't know it before I saw him last. We recorded on this Disney cartoon recently together, and by the way, he's great to work with. I love that guy. That guy he's solid, man. And,
shout out to Brian T.
Yeah, definitely shout out to him. Good guy, nice guy, man. I love him. He deserves all the success he has, man. I didn't know that when I saw him, but I'll have to ask him about it. That's what I heard, man. It's kind of like it's like a coming of age thing in our industry to do like a random voice on some of these games. So that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, apparently he was a militia grunt, which is just a little dudes that run around. But that's cool. That's cool that you and him cross paths. It seems on several occasions.
Yeah, it's funny, and a lot of stuff that I've been in, it's not even on my resume or up on Insta or anything, because some of the games, if I'm not a main character in them, there's probably another 20 titles that I've just done literally grunts in and being hit and screaming in and stuff like that, through the years. So we're probably tied in a bunch more titles as well.
The way I keep getting voice work, because I've been freelancing some simple YouTube stuff. The way I always get work is somebody's like, "Hey, we need a really southern voice," and people are like, "Hey, I know a dude," and they message me.
They're like, "Hey man, I know a total redneck, man. He call you up, talk to you, man. You want to know what you're talking about, man?" I say, "What?"
They'll message me and they'll be like, and I'm like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "Can I use this voice, or can I do this?" And they're like,
"Just be yourself."
They're like, "We need that good old redneck twang," and I'm like, "God, that's boring."
You're from New York City, man. Don't fake it.
I heard he gets his salsa from New York City.
New York City.
Oh, Titanfall. Well, it comes out today since this is going up on the 28th.
Yeah, Titanfall 2 released today. I'm excited about it, man.
My last question about Titanfall is: if you could have a giant mech for your personal use, what would its name be, and what would you use it for?
Wow. Okay. His name would be Pablo.
Great.
Because I used to have a lizard named Pablo, and he died, and I miss him. So his name would be Pablo.
Rest in peace, Pablo.
Yeah. He would definitely have a very cool paint scheme on him. I'm not exactly sure, but there'd be like some glitter gold flake in there, maybe some psychedelic swirls for sure.
All right, I can see that.
And I would use him for any time I had to leave my apartment during Los Angeles rush hour traffic. And boy, I would crush it on the freeway. I would
literally
love it.
Like literally crushing vehicles.
Bro, that would be the best. That's like my dream would be to have that in traffic, man.
In LA, you think motorcycles had it easy just whipping back and forth? You can just literally just glide over everybody.
I got to tell you, man, because I ride my motorcycle a lot here, and I got to tell you, man, it's the roughest city I've ever ridden in. I rode out from high school from Michigan in the middle of the winter on my motorcycle from Michigan out to California, and man, once I got out to LA, it's the scariest place to ride ever. People cut you off, they don't pay attention. It's rough. It truly is rough driving out here, and on a bike, it's sketchy, man. So yeah, so the Mech would be the way to go for sure.
I'm driving here.
Hey, well, I'm driving over here.
Whoa.
What? Forget about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were talking about you were doing small parts for several things, grunts. Screams.
Well, when I was starting out, I was doing all that. So I think the first thing I actually caught traction with above that was when I did a gig for Marvel. I did the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and they gave me an opportunity to play the Shocker, which was so much fun in that game. And once I did the Shocker in that, and they loved me over at the Marvel, that then opened up the rest of the voiceover stuff to me. That's how Bethesda got in contact with me to do Deacon, and then Rise of the Tomb Raider, and just a couple of those things, and then the other titles that I'm on right now that I'm not supposed to say. But the very first one that got me out of the box of just doing grunts and being hit and making background noises and stuff was the Amazing Spider-Man 2 one.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. I'll tell you, all that training of doing the grunts and it all comes in very, very useful. Because back in the day, I started by doing anime stuff, and I did the American voice, the English version from the Japanese. And the fighting in the anime stuff's ridiculous. All you're doing is jumping around and fighting. Yeah, it's all. You know,
yeah.
But I gotta tell you, all that training and the stuff of doing all the grunt noises and everything really ended up being really helpful. Because like even on Titanfall 2, a lot of this stuff, other than just the dialogue, a lot of it is like yelling the dialogue in a combat situation or over gunfire or taking hits, and you have to be very specific. Are you getting hit in the stomach? Are you being hit by a robot? Are you being, is your arm being blown off? And so a lot of it is super vocally stressful. You go in the booth for, 4 or 5 hours at a time with a 20-minute break or something. Man, your throat is raw by the end of it, especially with the yelling and the grunting, and it rips it up, man.
So that's a great segue. Being vocally exhausted is a great segue into us talking about the voice actors' strike through the unions. So what we're talking about is the R word. I can't. Where is it? I got to
residuals.
The residuals, the bonuses.
So you mean the strike that's happening right now between the union? See, all the different actors, whether you're an on-camera actor, if you're in TV and film, you're a member of something called the Screen Actors Guild.
Right.
Generally, and what that is that means that you're a professional actor. You've been sort of vetted, in other words, meaning that you've done work, you're professional, you have agency representation in that, and then you join the union. And the union, the Screen Actors Guild, it's a guild really. It's called the union, kind of like the United Auto Workers, the United Steel Workers Union. It basically, puts all the employees together under one big group, and then they make sure that you're taken care of, like at work, that you only work a certain number of hours, and you get lunch at this time, and if you get hurt, you get this medical, and then they make sure that our wages are fair. They're sort of the group that we're all part of that looks out for us is the union, and they were unhappy with the way that the overall gaming industry was taking care of or not taking care of a lot of the voice talents. So they decided, in our best interest, to go try to negotiate with the big game companies like EA and Respawn and Bethesda and say, hey, look, guys, we have hundreds and hundreds of actors that are working for you, and you guys are making billions and billions of dollars on these games.
Now, video games in some cases have been making more money than blockbuster movies.
Oh, buddy, overall, for the last decade, the video game industry has made more money than the film and television community combined. The video game world is the most lucrative, highest profiting entertainment thing going. Way more than movies.
In most cases, actors will get a bonus for if a good performance really boosts box office numbers. An actor will get a bonus. That's typically not tradition with voice actors.
It's not typical. It's non-existent. For instance, the way that a lot of actors make how you really make a living is if you're not a major star, if you're not, I don't know, Channing Tatum or Brad Pitt or somebody huge, whoever. Those people, they get a huge amount of money up front to be in the project because all their fans, want to watch it, and it brings a lot of revenue to the company. But for other actors like me that are popular, that work a lot, but that aren't like famous or anything, you get paid a decent rate of money for your actual work days, but then you pretty much live off of what's called residuals. And every time those TV shows play, or every time those movies play or sold or play on video or cable, you get another little chunk of money. And so over the years, when it plays for years and years, that's how you kind of make your money, is all those little bits from those things sending you checks. And that's how you survive. Those are called residuals. They're the residual money.
It's
in the video game world, in the video game world, it's the last part of the entertainment where they don't do that. Television and film and commercials, like I had those Nissan commercials running, 16 of them the last couple of years. Every time those run, there's another little bit of money that's sectioned off for me because the company's making more money, so then they pay the actors a little bit more because we've been helping them make that money. So they kind of share in the profits a little bit. But the video game industry doesn't do that yet. But since it's now making billions and billions, basically the union is saying, hey guys, you guys are making billions, and you're still paying the actors just this small amount for the days that they work. But when your game makes like $2 billion, maybe you could give a little bonus to the actors since they helped that to happen, and
right,
boost their salary.
Yeah, throw you guys a bone, because
like a little bonus thing. I mean, because I got to tell you, even though we work a lot and stuff, and I'm so blessed to do it, it's not like necessarily always getting rich on every job. And when something sells $1 billion or $2 billion worth, it's nice to get a little bonus, like a lot of companies do, like an incentive, And to tell you the truth, it pays the rent and it keeps you living, so it's a good thing.
I mean, I love my job, like my actual job that I have outside of YouTube. I love my job, but if somebody asks me, to come do it for free, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but
yeah,
you want the long-term effects to benefit you in some way.
Yeah, it's not to be greedy. Look, I've worked many of other regular jobs, man, like real hard work and stuff, and so I get it. I understand how it works. But yeah, let's just say if you went to your company and you were working there, and what you were specifically doing to contribute was a major factor in them making a couple $2 billion this year, and they kept you on the same salary that you started at 2 years ago.
Right.
And you might just, you'd feel like, hey, what's going on? So
right.
It's nothing negative. It's just that's just the way business works. And so our union now has us on strike, which means they've asked us to not be recording for these companies right now until they work it out with them of what they think a fair payment news scale would be. So we actually can't be recording right now, and I haven't been able to do any new work in the last week because of that.
I looked up some of the specifics, and that went in effect October 23rd, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't record on any game that has been in development as of February this year.
Right. And luckily, a couple of the new titles that I'm on, because it takes about a year even more sometimes for their even, like I recorded on a game a few months ago, and that probably won't come out till the end of next year even.
Right.
So some of my newer stuff I already finished recording on, so that's already in the can, which means it's already done. So they're already editing and working on it. But yeah, as far as new stuff moving forward right now, until our union, because we're all part of that, says that we're allowed to, I can't record on any new stuff right now, which kind of sucks, but that's the way it is.
Well, the contracts that the unions, the contracts or whatever that the unions are trying to renegotiate right now, haven't been touched in like 20 years.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, nobody saw 20 years ago that the video game world was going to become the billions of dollar industry. So it's just time for a redo. You know, it's time for to change it up.
Well, you're right about that. You know, because I mean, we were playing Super Mario 20 years ago, and now on certain nights you can watch esports on TBS. So, and it's really blowing up.
Yeah, I mean, look at Twitch, man. There's millions of people watching somebody just even play a game. It's crazy, man. I mean, for Fallout 4, in the first 24 hours, just on downloads, Fallout 4 made $750 million in the first 24 hours.
Man, that's
crazy,
insane.
Man.
That's a lot of Pip Boys.
Yeah. But anyway. Yeah, there's a lot of Pip Boys.
So, another thing that the unions are trying to do is, like, in action scenes, you know, you're grunting, you're screaming, it really tears at your vocal cords.
Yep.
Something that they're trying to accomplish is that instead of you going in and doing a 5-hour session, that, you know, really just that's just grunts and stuff, they're trying to separate it into to where you can only do a action scene for 2 hours.
Yeah, they're trying to just make it gets pretty stressful on the vocal cords and stuff and doing it. I mean, I love doing it and I push myself a lot. You know, and in Titanfall 2, I really pushed myself a lot because it's a lot of that combat stuff and I just like to make it real. I love doing it. And so I'll really put myself out there and give it everything. Some actors, you know, they don't necessarily feel the same way and it gets kind of stressful for them and it can really screw up your throat. So they're just trying to moderate it and make it a little safer. You know, for people, because you go scream and you end up losing your voice after doing that for a few hours. You can't record the next day. You miss out on work. You know.
Well, I mean, it's your job. I mean,
exactly, it's your job. So they're really just trying to look out for us all and just say, hey, look, let's just be fair, people. Let's give you great talent, and you make great games together, and let's all just try to help each other to be able to make a decent living. You know, actually, you know, pay the rent doing it and being creative. So. But again, I mean, I feel so lucky to be doing it in the first place.
Right.
But if I'm gonna be doing it and really, really giving it my 100% of what my dedication is in doing this, then I do want it to be fair and I do want it to be safe so I can keep doing it, man, because I love it. You know.
One more thing about the strike, and then we're gonna
we're
gonna move on to viewer questions. So. Not trying to put Nolan North on the hot spot. This isn't Nolan North versus Ryan Alosio, but he said
no, man.
He said that he wouldn't feel comfortable taking residuals because he feels like it wouldn't be fair to, say, the animators or the motion cap guys.
I hear what he's saying. He can send them to me. The residuals. No, I'm kidding, man. But well, you know what it is, man. It's just that those particular people in those aspects of making the game, they should really maybe think about getting together as a group and unionizing so that they have a body that looks after them. So that it's kind of a club, really. The union. It says, hey, man, you know, you got to treat us fairly as a group. And I agree. Those people, man, every person that's involved, from the animator to the sketch artist to the people that color in the animations to the designers to the storyboard. I mean, there's so many people involved in making these games. And I'll tell you what, there's enough profits in the billions of dollars that these companies have that they can kick a biscuit down to each one of those people involved when a game is as successful as some of these games are.
You know what? Just kick me a biscuit.
Just kick me a biscuit.
Just kick me a biscuit.
I don't need all the gravy. Just kick me a biscuit is all I'm saying.
Which is also my new catchphrase. Kick me a biscuit. So,
but I hear what he's saying, and I don't think the actors aren't the most important part of it at all. The actors are just the end game that bring the characters to life, but everybody is equally as important. I got no games to act in if the guy doesn't write the game, and if the storyboard guy doesn't make the characters, I got nothing to play. So we're all equally important, but it just so happens this is the moment in time when our union is stepping up and saying, hey, what about our people?
You never know. Next year we might see the movement of the Animators Guild.
Who knows, man? I just, can't we just all get along?
Can't we just,
Can't we just get along, people?
Fallout 6 confirmed. All right. So
anyway.
I'm going to move on to user questions.
All right, what do you got?
So, my homeboy on Twitter, his name is Muhala, which is...
Yeah, Muhala, holla, Brad, holla, lady.
Sounds like a cow I would pray to. Anyways, he said, my question would be, how did you get into voice work, and what was your big break? We kind of covered this, but...
Yeah, I was kidnapped by a band of renegade roaming gypsies when I was a child, and then I was sold into the voiceover slave labor mines as a child, where Todd Howard, again, chained me in the corner and nourished and beat me into submission and made me do different voices. And now they let me out occasionally and put me in front of a microphone, and I do them.
And he was never saw again.
Yeah,
all
pretty
right.
much.
We have
the quick answer is, to tell you the truth, I've wanted to do it since I was a kid, and being in a lot of television shows as a guest star and that led to me then doing some commercial stuff, and then from that, voiceover stuff in the commercials, and from that, I just kept pushing because it is a hard industry to break into, I won't lie, especially the video game stuff. It's a very closed little family of people. Somebody was kind enough to give me an opportunity on that Marvel Spider-Man game, and it went really well. And from there, I got noticed and just kept working. So it's a roundabout way to do it, but,
And now here you are on SpazzyW's YouTube
extravaganza. My childhood dream on SpazzyW YouTube. I made it, Mom. Mom, it's SpazzyW. We done it, Mom. Get her done.
Is that Grandma?
Yeah, that's my mama.
I mean, it would be my grandma, right? Oh, wait,
yeah.
We weren't talking about that.
Hey, now.
All
right. What do you got?
Next question. On Twitter, Mr. Crispalicious, which is also a great name.
You're Crispalicious.
Oh, girl. If you ever got an opportunity to work on another Fallout-related project, I feel like this is a loaded question. If you got another opportunity to work on a Fallout-related project, would you do it?
Oh, why wouldn't I, man? I had a great time working on the first one, and how do I put this so that you don't expose me? I am still in very strong communication with the people that made Fallout, that continue to make games with and for that company. I still have a very strong and solid working relationship with them, I'm happy to say. And whatever new games, Fallout related or not, that they may or may not be working on, I am very open to and happy to be available to be involved with them. Is that a good answer? Did I do good on that?
Fantastic.
Was that good? I did good?
Oh, that was really good. I can't wait to send that to Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, that's called walking the razor's edge of not saying or revealing anything, but trying to give a good answer.
All right. So we was gonna have a third person. His name is Medicaleptic on Twitter. He had to work tonight, but he left me like 7 questions. We've already answered most of them, but I think I got 2 that we haven't answered.
Medicaleptic, that's like a condition. You need like a medication for that. Medicaleptic.
I was medicaleptic as a child, but the light therapy fixed me. I'm okay now. I'm not medicaleptic no more.
I mean, I had to ride a different bus, but everything's still cool. So his first question was...
Wait, let me adjust my helmet here and my mouth gear. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
He said, "Have you played Battlefield 1 yet? And if so, could you give it a score from 1 slightly badass to 10 the best badass thing to walk on this planet?"
I did some voices in Battlefield Hardline long time ago. Not a long time ago, a couple years ago. I have not played the full version of Battlefield 1. I've just seen some clips, and I've been in the room with some people that were playing on an early version of it, so I can't speak directly to it. The stuff I saw looked really cool, And from the people I've talked with that have played it, they seemed really happy about it. So I couldn't personally give it a score. That would be unfair and lying, but that's my knowledge on that. I look forward to playing it though.
Well, I forgot that you were consoleless, so I
Yeah, at the
understand.
moment I'm not.
Don't worry, I haven't played it either because this YouTube money ain't all what it's what it's all panned out to be. So I'm a little broke right now. His other question that we haven't answered. He asked you, are you an advocate of banning the ability to pre-order games? If not, why not? The thing is that people say, you pre-order a game, you're giving developers money for a game that might not even be worth a shit. I mean, do you have any feelings on that?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm all for giving people choices and letting them make their own choices. Like, if people want to drink too much soda, I'm saying it's not a crime to sell the soda to them.
Right.
It's up to people to regulate themselves. So I'm not for like big government stepping in and telling us what to do and stuff like that. I'm into people making their own choices. So I support if gaming companies want to give people the ability to do a pre-order, and people make the choice that they think they're excited enough about it that they want to pre-order it and give their money, then I think that should be their choice. But I also think that if these companies are going to take people's money up front like that, man, they better damn well work hard to make those people's dollars count. Because
yeah, boy.
we work hard out there, and they think taking $60 from somebody's nothing. That's a big deal, man. People work hard for that. So I think the game people need to not be lazy, and I think this last year and a half, we've really seen some of these companies step up, as they've done in Titanfall 2 for Respawn. And I think that the content they're giving us now is pretty amazing, man. Like some of the DLC stuff on Fallout 4 and that I thought was incredible. I mean, people are always going to find fault, but as long as these companies really keep trying to up the ante and give us better stuff, then yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. I guess if it sucks when you get it, well,
yeah,
it just sucks. Don't buy another one from them. But I support it being available. Sure, why not?
I worked hard for this game. I had to leak 12 fake games just to get all the money to buy this game.
I know, right?
So I moved over to Instagram, our favorite place.
Yes,
Sacred Games ask dream movie role.
My dream movie role, honestly, and I'm a little sad to say that what's been going on with it since for a lot of years, my favorite sci-fi movie ever made is a movie called Blade Runner.
Yes,
by Ridley
boy.
Scott with Harrison Ford, yeah.
Yes.
And my dream role when I got old enough and in the right, at the right place in my life was to play the Deckard role, the lead role, the Harrison Ford role in a remake of Blade Runner. And just recently they've decided to redo it. Ryan Gosling is playing the role now.
Yeah,
Another Ryan. At least they picked a Ryan.
Oh yeah.
I've met him a few
close.
times. I've met him a few times. He's a really nice guy. Actually, he's super talented, and he's always been really cool whenever I've said hello to him and that. So, God bless him, man. At least somebody cool got it. But man, it made me sad. But that's my dream role would be to play that.
Man, I'm gonna watch Blade Runner tonight just because of that.
Hey, but anybody out there who hasn't seen the original Blade Runner movie, do yourself a favor. Buy a used copy of it, see it somehow. Don't watch it on a phone or something. Watch it on a television and get a DVD of it. It is mind-blowing. It's phenomenal. It was so far ahead of its time. One of the best sci-fi movies ever made. Just one of the best films ever made, in my opinion.
For me,
yeah, bro.
I would like to do. I'd like to star in the remake of Smokey and the Bandit.
Ha! That's a cool movie, man. That's a cool movie.
I think that would be fantastic.
You have to grow a mustache and chew gum a lot.
Oh man, I'm already starting.
Right, no doubt, man.
Oh man, I'm already there.
That's cool.
Next question, Mr. Draco Raider. He asked, "What is your favorite video game?"
That's a good name, Draco Raider.
Draco Raider. He's got a frog as his picture.
That's my porn name, Draco Raider.
My porn name is Dick Dragon Cheeks.
I bet it is. I bet it is. Oh, wait, what was the question again?
Your
what was
favorite game of all time? Happy Birds. Flappy Bird. I don't know.
Honestly, my favorite game of all time, of games. Oh man. My favorite actual game of all time is a pinball game.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's pinball. I the touch and the feel of mechanical. He probably meant a console game or something, but
Well,
I love the old school feel of those mechanical like pinball games where you can feel the ball rolling, and every time you hit the flipper, I love the connection where I can literally feel the game working and the gears and stuff. That's really cool to me.
It's very immersive. Probably one of the most immersive games.
Right, it's tactile. You use your body language. You're shaking the game. You're trying not to tilt it. You're dealing with the balls and the multi-ball, and I really like that. And of those games, my couple favorites are I love the Jurassic Park, the Jurassic Park and the Twilight Zone and the Addams Family. Those are my three: Addams Family, Twilight Zone, and Jurassic Park pinball games. And as far as video games, the old school video games, I love the arcade stand-up version of Galaga.
Yeah.
Which is an old school funky, like it's kind of like Asteroids almost. That's a way back old school one, even before back in the day. And as far as the newer games, I mean, I love Fallout 4, of course. It's been good times for me. And I really like the Witcher games, man. The new Witcher, Witcher 3, and the Witcher. I think those are beautiful. Just the way that they're made and how they look. But God, I can't. There's so many, dude. So many. Division, Call of Duty. There's I mean, I could go on and on, but what's yours? What do you like?
My favorite game of all time. A lot of people, if somebody asked me, if somebody saw me, they'd probably be like, "Well, it's probably Fallout 3." I mean, I have two Fallout tattoos.
Yeah,
but
Fallout 3 is solid, man. I gotta put that in that list
3.
too. Of course, that's a great dude. Vegas is awesome.
But actually, contrary to belief, my favorite game is actually a game from back in the day on Sega. It was called Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Dude, I remember that game.
I love that game. I absolutely love that game.
Oh, I haven't thought of that in a long time.
I really want to. I have like every version.
That more than Mario Kart and Mario.
Oh, yeah. That hands down. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. It's such. It should have been a cult classic. It didn't really get that much attention. I love it.
I remember that one. That's a good one, man.
The next question, we got a funny one. Instagram, Little Miss 111. She's got a quote here. She says, "One time I got a face change and was a girl for a few months. You should have seen the looks back at HQ." She said, "It's one of my favorite quotes. I want to know what name Deacon went by as a girl and what kind of snazzy apparel she rocked."
Well, thanks for asking. I appreciate that. And also, I got to use all the transgender bathrooms and everywhere I wanted to go in the Commonwealth, so that made it a lot easier.
You can go to Target, no problem.
Yeah. Desdemona wanted me to use the name Deacdemona. I wasn't really hip on that, so I just went by Sally.
Sally, that's classic.
I figured just stay classic with it, I was terrible in heels. I was stumbling all over the place. And I felt very restricted by the undergarments. Props out to all you young ladies out there rocking these thongs, because for me it was just not a comfortable situation. I'm wearing one right now, and it's riding up. Let me just pull it down a little bit right there. Thank you, sir. Sally, and I wasn't the prettiest girl, but it worked for me. And, it was necessary at the time.
You know what? You gotta do what you gotta do.
A girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do. That's all I'm saying.
Girls just want to have fun.
Thanks for asking.
So, to wrap all this up, you are Titanfall's coming out today, and and on your Instagram, at Ryan Alosio, you are doing a Titanfall-based giveaway.
Yeah, I will. Based on for the release today or tomorrow, or whenever it is, tomorrow, today, whatever. I'm gonna do a little Titanfall follow contest giveaway thing on my Instagram page at Ryan Alosio, Alosio. At least that's how my mama spells it. They had given us the voice talent in the game, this really cool pin. Titanfall 2 pin thing, and I also have one of the original the display boxes when it was still unrated and stuff from the store, and I'm going to do a giveaway where and whoever wins does the follow and and submits, and I'll choose a winner randomly, and whoever wins, I'll personally write a message on the box to them, autograph it for them, do something like that, and send the stuff out to them, and they'll have a couple things that pretty much nobody else has from the Titanfall 2 world. They'll have my voice actor pin that they gave me, and the box with the stuff, and I won't be signing and doing a lot of other Titanfall 2 stuff like that, so I'll make it very personal and kind of a one-off thing.
Fantastic.
And, yeah, man. And after that, I'll do another one. I'm going to do a final big ultimate Deacon one for the Fallout 4 community, because the Fallout 4 people are really dear to my heart, and so is Deacon. So in about a week or so, I'll post up about that, and I have a major one for the Deacon one. Man, I've got some amazing stuff that's totally one of a kind.
You got to. The Fallout community on Instagram is insane.
Dude, I love it. I love them, man. I really, really do. I love being part of it. It's made me so happy this year, and I love interacting with everybody out there, man. That's my main reason I wanted to get a lot more followers. Now, too. I just have bigger connection to everybody out there, and the Fallout community has just been the best. I love y'all. I loves you. I love you, baby.
He loves you. He loves you.
I love you, baby.
Your father loves you.
I love you, baby.
He's not mad. He's just disappointed. No.
Go in the corner and think about what you've done. All right.
All right. I'm sorry. I will not leak any more games. I'm cured. Heal this child. All right. All right. Well, that about wraps it up for viewer questions.
Yeah.
And
November 14th. I will be on the show on Fox, the television show Lucifer.
I almost
Lucifer
forgot.
on Fox, November 14th. I just did a great guest star on that, a totally ridiculous character. So look for Lucifer, November 14th. I'll be on that. And then I got another show I'm working on right now. We're shooting another episode right now. It's Jim Carrey produces it. It's going to be on Showtime starting in January, called I'm Dying Up Here, and it's set in the early 70s. And I play a ridiculous ongoing role on that show, produced by the great Jim Carrey, and that's been a lot of fun to work on. And got a couple more game things I'm working on right now that we're just finishing up. Man, it's been crazy, man. Thanks for doing the interview. And I got to say one more time, shout out to the people, fans, and followers out there on Instagram, man. You guys have really made my year. It's been really cool.
Awesome, man. I'm so glad that you came to do this. This was awesome. I had fun. You're like the coolest guy I'm never going to get to meet. Well, maybe one day. And thanks, everybody, for watching. And you know what? Spaz out.
Be good to each other out there. And, hey, guys, remember, seriously, please, don't die.